We're going to talk about quantum leaps today, and I want to talk about the signs that you're in a quantum leap so you know what to look out for and so that you can hold the energy and hold the identity of your next level self, because in this quantum leap, like right before it manifests, a lot of people will drop the ball and shrink back to their old reality because their five senses aren't picking up on the evidence, the outer results that they think should be happening, and or maybe you're seeing directly opposite looking results in your outer world that are causing your old identity to want to come through again. And so it's really powerful when you know these signs, because then you can literally anchor into the new identity, choose to believe that it's actually working, and stay plugged in, and thus collapse time around the results that you want. So I want to talk about the first sign that you are about to have a quantum leap in your business, your income, your impact. And I'm experiencing this right now. And I'm so glad that I know these signs, because it's really tempting to want to like drop the ideal outcome, to want to like abandon it and shrink back to the old self. And so I'm so freaking grateful that I know that this is what's coming up in my subconscious, so I can hold the reality, hold the vibe, and thus see everything as happening for me to get to the results that I desire. So the first sign that you're about to quantum leap your income and your impact in your business is, can anyone guess? The crumble. So a lot of people will call this the quantum crumble. And it's basically like your old reality, your old business, whatever it is, your old ways of being, your old identity has to be let go of. It has to fall apart in order for the new reality to fall together. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've ever experienced this. Like when I was making my transition from accountant, I used to be a CPA, and in 2020 I transitioned to being a coach and content creator. And when I was making this transition, I had been manifesting a career change. And all of a sudden these things started happening at my accounting firm that were like insane. Like I never thought that I would have experienced before. Like basically there were a lot of ethical dilemmas that I was being presented with. I was being asked to do things that were blatantly against the IRS code and just against all of my ethics. And I was saying no. I was holding my boundaries. I was standing up for what I valued and for the oath that I had taken to my profession. And I was getting reprimanded for it. I was getting written up. I was about to be fired. It was 2 weeks into lockdown. So you imagine like the feelings that I felt. 2 weeks into lockdown. We have no idea how long this is going to last. It's 2020. And here I am standing up for what's right against this firm that is asking me to do illegal things. And I'm like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. And I'm being written up and told that if I don't do it, I'm going to be fired. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I do now? And then I remembered, I was like, holy shit, you've been manifesting a career change. Like this is all falling apart so that your new career can fall into place. So now is go time, baby. Now is not the time to sit in fear. Now is the time to go, holy shit, this is happening for me. And that's exactly what I did. And within the month, I took a kind of a month hiatus after I left my job. I didn't have any steady paycheck or any income. I cashed out. I had like $3,000 or something in a 401k, like $3,000 bucks, not a lot. I cashed that out. I got my final paychecks from the firm. I moved cities to live with my best friend. And within 9 days after I launched my coaching business, I had 9 one-on-one coaching clients, because I chose to believe that it was all happening for me. I chose to see that the quantum crumble was creating and setting me up for my quantum leap. Yet it's the choice that we make in these moments when the old is falling away. It's the choice that makes the difference, because had I been like, oh no, oh my God, like let me cling, let me try to make this job work, let me go grab onto another job immediately, or let me whatever, right? If I had remained attached to what was, I wouldn't have allowed that situation to become the quantum leap that it was, the identity up level and upgrade, where I went from CPA to coach and content creator. it would have then just been another pattern, another cycle in my life, right? Do you guys see? So the sign that you're about to have a quantum leap is you are literally, everything that's not aligned with that new reality is getting a lot of tension, feeling really hard. It's basically your unconscious mind is being called to let it go. You're being called to let it go because it's not aligned with where you're headed. It's not aligned with that version of you that has the reality that you want. And the more we attach, the more we cling to it, that is the level of identification that we have with the current reality. And when we have a lot of identification with our current circumstances and our current reality, we're not in this unattached, allowing type of energy where things are being let go, where then more can be let in. The new can then be let in. So we have to detach in these moments where the crumble's happening. Maybe it's people are leaving your life. Maybe it's breakups. Maybe it's you're experiencing health challenges and you're being called to let go of like an identity of being sick. Maybe it's financial challenges. Like I was navigating some big financial challenges, being called to let go of lack programming. There's something that we're being called to let go of when we're ready to quantum leap into the next reality. It can be people, places, things, ways of being, ways of thinking. And really all it is like you're being called to let go of that version of you. So some of those people may end up staying in your life, or some of those things may end up staying in your life. They're just going to look different because they are then going to mirror back that new identity, that new version of you, because maybe you're not relating to the people in the same way. Like recently, I noticed my quantum leap required me to relate to women in a different way. I was holding on to this old paradigm, this old way of thinking and being, where I was limiting myself and attached to almost like relating to people a little bit out of like complaining. And I realized, I was like, wait a minute, the version of me that's successful, that's a millionaire, that's like in her passion, that's serving hundreds of thousands of people, she's not sitting here relating to people through limitations and complaining. I have to change how I'm relating to people, and they may be uncomfortable with that, and they may end up leaving my life, or they may leave my life for a season and come back, who knows? Yet I've got to hold fast to that identity, that version of me that has what I desire in order for my results to be independent from time. That's what a quantum leap is, right? Quantum leap is like you're manifesting that shit, not from how much you're doing and how long it's taking. You're doing it from your energetics and your identity, who you're being. That's sign number one. Shit is crumbling. Embrace it, baby. Embrace the crumble, because it's here to serve you. It's clearing the way of everything that you're ready to receive. And when you like imagine this is you like holding on to your current reality or holding on to people or old ways of being, when you let go and you open your hands, what happens? When you're unattached, what happens? Now your hands are open. Now you're able to receive. You're able to receive the new reality. So let go. Be unattached. Don't identify with the circumstances. Don't identify with the things or the people or whatever. Okay, so I want to tell you what the second sign that you're about to have a quantum leap is. Are you guys ready? Drop a 2 in the comments if you're ready for this. Drop a 2 in the comments. Okay. The second sign is you are saying yes to the power initiations. You are saying yes to the challenges. And what I mean by that is what I just said. Every challenge that we experience is an opportunity for us to embody more of our personal power. Your personal power is your ability to create your reality. And when you're saying yes to challenges that are coming to you, it doesn't mean that you have to create challenges in order to manifest what you want. It means if your subconscious mind, because you're so deeply embodied in the energy, you're attuning to the frequency of your new reality, right? Like you've been attuning to it. Now your subconscious mind, because you're manifesting this separate from action and time, give me some hearts if this is clicking. Your subconscious mind is going to lead you and guide you through things, circumstances, events, initiations. Thanks for the likes, Miss Cheryl. It's going to guide you through these trials, these challenges, as a way of allowing you to embody your new belief systems, your new identity, your new level of personal power. And so what happens, and what 99% of the world does, is they go, I'm going to quantum leap, and they think it's just going to be sunshine and roses the entire time. And so they start reprogramming the subconscious mind. They start embodying the frequency of the new reality. And then boom, they're met with the quantum crumble, where they're called to let go of something and they want to grip it, right? Or they're met with a challenge that is telling them, like, maybe you're manifesting more money and more income and more clients in your business, and suddenly your client decides not to renew after you've raised your prices, or they default on a payment, or you get an extra bill in the mail, and you're met with a challenge. And instead of meeting that challenge and using it to solidify the new identity, the new version of you in that reality, you go, oh, this isn't working, or I'm doing something wrong, or this shouldn't be happening. And what happens when we're in those belief systems is we create resistance, and all resistance is created internally. And when you have resistance that's inserted into your manifestation process, what you're really adding to it is time, right? So when you are meeting your challenges head on and you're taking a moment to, maybe you have feelings, maybe they make you uncomfortable, you're manifesting money, you're manifesting more clients, and suddenly the client decides not to stay in your services and they leave, and that brings up emotions and that brings up feelings. That's okay. Feel those feelings, feel those emotions. Yet do not attach that circumstance to who you are, that thing that is happening to who you are, so that you can navigate that challenge as that up-leveled identity, that 2.0 version of you, that quantum leaped already. How would he or she meet that challenge? And then when you come at that challenge with their perspective and their way of being, that challenge actually gets it's like you diffuse the circumstances of their power, and then it gets deactivated in your vibration, and then you're no longer feeding it your attention, which is your energy, your most powerful asset. And then on the other side of it, you're going, damn, I'm so fucking proud of how I handled that. Like the things that I'm navigating right now, as I just feel this quantum leap in my bones, like I just fucking feel it. I know it's happening. I feel big money. I feel big impact. I feel big growth in my business. Like I just fucking feel it. My relationships and things are starting to shift externally, and I still feel it really internally, right? And I'm navigating these challenges, and I'm so unattached from the outcome, yet so focused on who I'm being, and that I can walk away from a situation and go, fuck, I'm really proud of how I handled that. Separate and detached from what anyone else's response is. That's the key, that unattachment. Unattached from if the person buys or joins, or if the post gets likes, or if people are on the live, or if my husband responds a certain way, or so-and-so does something. Like, I can still walk away going, man, I'm really proud of how I handled that. I know that that's how the millionaire version of me would choose to pay that bill, or whatever it is, right? Let me know. Give me hearts if this is clicking, guys. Let me know. And if you have questions or you want some support, like, feel free to drop them in the chat, because no question is too silly. If you have that question, probably somebody else does too, and it can help a lot of people. And this is a safe space, so your questions are welcome. Hey, Stormy. Oh my God, all my favorite friends are on. Hope is on, Stormy's on. I haven't seen you guys in so long, yet I am back on doing these lives, and I'm so happy. So let's go over again. The first sign, you're about to have a quantum leap. You're experiencing the quantum crumble. You're being called to let go. Everybody in the comments, type in capital letters, let go. I let it go. If it's not aligned with who I know that I am and what I desire to experience, I let it go. As the first sign. And you're detaching those circumstances from your identity. You're not identifying with them because it's the identification that keeps them active. Let it go. Yes, let it go. I love it. It's the identification with them that keeps it active. It's like you get the bill in the mail and then you go, oh, this means I'm broke. This means I only have so much. You get to stop and ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? I'm broke. Who am I? Ask yourself that question right now. Your brain goes blank because there's not an answer. Because who are we? We are just I am. We are just the infinite source. We are God consciousness. And God consciousness knows no limitation. Right? And you start to, when you ask yourself that question, you start to feel the energy that's attached to that old identity. You start to feel it release. You feel that ease in your body. I need an Elsa gif. Yes. That's our first sign. Our second sign was you are saying yes to the power initiations, the uncomfortable shit. What's some of the uncomfortable shit that you know right now your next level self would not be avoiding and she or he would be meeting with power? Uncomfortable conversations. Have the uncomfortable conversation. It can be messy. It can be imperfect. I had one yesterday or 2 days ago. I started an uncomfortable conversation, yet I knew in my heart and soul it was something I wanted to speak up about, and actually ended up bringing me way closer to this friend, and we are more vulnerable now, and we are more open, and we are more connected. Uncomfortable. If you know your heart and soul, you're called to raise your prices and you're not doing it out of fear or lack, that's the uncomfortable shit. Look at it. Not forcing connection or conversation. Yes, Hope. That is true because sometimes the uncomfortableness is to actually not put on that like front of small talk. I had some people come to my door 2 days ago and they were asking me because they were campaigning. I'm not going to get into the politics, but they were asking me like who I was voting for. And my answer didn't make them happy. The old me in a moment was like, should I just say what they want to hear to just like get them off my porch? And then I was like, no, that doesn't serve me. That doesn't serve anyone. Like, I'm not here to waste their time. I'm not here to be inauthentic. Like, I don't need anyone's approval. And I just said what I knew wasn't going to make these people happy, and I was okay with it. And actually then ended up being this big breakthrough that I had later because I got to return to the energy of love, because their reaction was very fear-based and shaming and judgy. And after they left, I got to look at that because then I was judging them for judging me, and that didn't feel good, right? And I want to like keep my mind as clean and pure as possible. Yet, I worked through that reflection, and then I opened my heart to even more love, even more peace, even more self-acceptance. Oh my gosh, Alexandra, you're on here. This is my friend. She's also a coach. Hey girl, just got attacked by one of your vids. I do have to stop saying it's hard. Yes, girl, stop saying it's hard. So then it doesn't have to be hard anymore. I love it. It's easy, it's fun. It's intentional. Okay, so that's our second sign that we're about to have a quantum leap. We're saying yes to the challenge. We're saying yes to the growth. We're saying yes and we're allowing it, and we're just like going all in on it instead of resisting it, which keeps us more in the present moment, which keeps us more connected to our power and our full energy. And that's when we can really channel the solutions. We know exactly what to say because we're in the present moment, so we're not overthinking all that bullshit. Miss Cheryl, with friends, does it matter who you're around or are they reflecting you? I'd say it depends. I personally believe, yes, I do believe everyone is a reflection of us. So I believe that I am my own universe and everyone is mirroring something back to me. So if it were my shoes, I would, and this is what's been working and helping me a lot lately, is I make everything about me, not in a blamey way, not in a self-judgment way, not in a anything's fucked up or wrong with me way. I make everything about me and like, what is this relationship mirroring back to me about me? How do I feel like they're being towards me? And how am I being that way towards myself, right? And then I work through the reflection, whatever it is, so that I can use that relationship to open my heart to more love, learn more about myself, and make me the best version of me. And then from there, when I'm in a place of neutrality, like if you've had a difficult situation with a friend, then from that place of neutrality and power, I will decide if I desire to have that person still in my life. Rather than going, oh, I'm in an activated state and this is bringing something up for me, fuck them, I'm just going to write them off, whatever, right? So I use it as a combination of both, yet I'm always going to look at my reflections first. Now, did I used to always do that? No. As much as possible, I'm going to look at my reflections first so that I'm making the choice from the energy of desire rather than from the energy of a program. If I'm making the choice from the program, I'm just going to repeat the pattern. I'm just going to attract more people like that. I'm just going to keep myself small. Does that help, Miss Cheryl? And like those type of situations, as you navigate them with power, they add up to your quantum leap. People think it's so much about what are you doing? What job are you working at? What strategy you're using in your business? How many times are you posting on social media? Like what's your offer? All these things. Those things are great. Yet if we're only focused on the doing, that is coming from a subconscious program that is trying to quantify our worth and quantify our worthiness of abundance, of joy, of our dream reality based on how much and what we're doing. And so I always focus my coaching around who you're being and how you're leading yourself, because that's where you really unlock unlimited receiving. That's unbound by what you're doing and how much you're doing. Preach. I love you. Are they reflecting our relationship to ourselves? Yes. On some level and in some way, shape, or form. Yes. If like we're needing something from them, that's something that we're not giving ourselves. If they're being a certain way to us, like if you feel like you're not being appreciated or valued, there's probably ways in your life or business or some area of life where you're not appreciating or valuing yourself. Things like that. Those are just some examples, because everybody is yourself pushed out. Okay, the third sign that you're about to have a quantum leap. Who wants to hear number 3? Drop a 3 in the chat. I love this one. Oh, it's so good. And it feels so good when you hit this one. 3. Okay. You're thinking less. This sounds crazy. You're going to love it. You're thinking less thoughts. Thoughts and overthinking are a manifestation of a subconscious programming that's rooted in lack of self-acceptance, lack of self-value, lack of self-love. Like there's a lot of subconscious programmings that are running the show if you're constantly thinking loads of fucking thoughts. And these thoughts are keeping you out of the present moment. And when you are locked out of the present moment, you are not making the moves that you know you're called to make, or you don't have access to all of the guidance. Like you just literally don't have it in your awareness. Like I recently, as I was doing identity work and rewiring my unconscious mind around money, I logged into TikTok like 3 days ago and I saw all these messages that were like hidden from all of these different companies asking me to be affiliates in TikTok Shop for them. And I never saw the messages before. Like they dated back to like a year ago, some of them. And so I went through them and I was looking at the products and I was like, oh, that one feels kind of aligned to me. I would love to try that product. Let me request a free sample. Here's now another way that I can call in abundance that my awareness wasn't even opened up to because I was constantly thinking. What do I need to do to make more money? What should I post? What's the right hook? What do I need to say? Blah, blah, like all these thoughts, which were really just a manifestation of a subconscious program that was rooted in lack. And so the more present you are after rewiring your subconscious mind, you're more present and you actually think a lot less thoughts. And it's kind of like my dog here, he was on this side of me. And then he got up, woke up, and he just moved over to now he's under my desk on the right side of me. He didn't sit there going, should I get up? Should I go? Should I do this? Like, what if I knock over the phone stand? What if she gets mad at me? He just woke up, got up, and moved over. Imagine what your life and business is going to be like when you're thinking less thoughts. This is why this has to be this is why this ties in with your quantum leap, because you're less overthinking, like, is this the right move? Is this the wrong move? Should I post this? Should I say this? You're just going. You're just doing it. And that energy compounded plus being present. So now you've got more power behind every move that you are making, whether it's to post the post or to take a freaking nap. You're not going, should I take the nap? Like, that's diluting your energy, draining your power. So this is adding up to your quantum leap because every single action then is backed with more of your energy, which means that one action can equal like 20 actions that you did as the version of you that was thinking all these thoughts and overthinking. How is this clicking? Tell me. I'm bouncing between thought overload and surrender. Yes. So you're right there at that brink. Just like keep playing into the surrender. Keep playing into the presence, because eventually it feels like it hits this tipping point is what it feels like energetically to me. It hits this tipping point where now you're way more in the surrender. You're way more in the presence. You're way more in the beingness. And then you bring that beingness to your doingness. And you just fucking know, and you're just so unattached because you're like, I know the outcome is inevitable. I'm just doing this because it feels fucking good to do right now. I'm not overthinking it. And you just know that that one action is going to have this like massive ripple effect. So you're like right at that brink, like keep surrendering, keep leaning in, and it's going to click over, Stormy. I promise. Hi, Keisha. Oh my gosh, all my peeps on here. It's like no time has passed. I love it. Okay, so less thinking, you're more present, you're making more moves, and this is a sign that your subconscious mind has gone through a lot of healing. Yes, I hope so. I know so. Like, declare it. Declare it. No hope. Like, you're right there. Declare it. No more beating yourself up either, because beating yourself up is going to attach, it's like the equivalent of identifying with your circumstances. Because you would only beat yourself up if you didn't really believe in your power to change your circumstances. So no beating yourself up. It is what it is. It's manifested. Allow it, and then use it and alchemize it to make you more into the version of you that has the quantum leap that you desire. Okay, who's ready for number 4? We talked about this one a little bit already. Drop a 4 in the comments if you're ready for number 4. 4. Number 4 is you are not reactive. You are responsive. So this doesn't mean that you don't feel feelings. I told my one-on-one client, was it today or yesterday? Time is weird. It was yesterday. It was last night. I told my one-on-one client, I was like, you can feel the feelings without identifying with them in terms of attaching them to who you are. So it's not about not feeling the feelings or bypassing. And I kind of hate that manifestation and energetics, like people say that on the internet so much, like that's bypassing. No, it's actually not, because when you're not identifying your human self with that circumstance, you will allow yourself to feel the feeling, and you will allow it to move through you, that energy and emotion, and you can separate that. Like, it's almost like you zoom out as your higher self and you have this higher perspective, and you can separate the feeling from your response to it. So then the feeling doesn't become, oh, let me yell at my husband, or become, oh, let me lower my prices because the person said that it was too much and that made me feel bad, and so now I'm going to lower my price, or now I'm going to get online and I'm going to convince people that they need to work with me and I'm going to try extra hard, right? That reaction is what's perpetuating the old reality. And so when we're quantum leaping, we are in response mode. And so when we're in response mode, we're actually able to feel the feelings that come up when we're activated by something in the 3D, yet we don't move on that. We recognize that there's nothing to fix. We don't immediately go, if you catch yourself when you're reacting to something, the post doesn't get likes, nobody buys the offer, people tell you shouldn't have said that online, who are you to say that, who are you to charge that, your mother-in-law gets mad at what you posted, or whatever it is, right? You'll notice if you catch yourself, there's an immediate urge for your ego mind to go into fix-it mode. I gotta figure this out. I gotta fix this. I gotta say something to them. I gotta change this post, or I gotta take it down, or like the fix-it mode. And it's that when you put a pause there, and you pause and you go, oh, there's actually nothing to fix. And you turn that back inward and you deal with what's coming up internally, because consciousness is like the one and only reality. Everything's coming from our consciousness, and you make it all about the inner game. Then you add space, because it's not just trigger, reaction. There's no space for anything to land in your reality, in your energetic field, because you're just react. So when you catch that, you don't try to figure it out. You go inward, work through what's coming up for you. Then you've created space in the old pattern. And that space where the pause is, that now you have more ease and more presence, because you're not just doing. We've been programmed to do, to overwork, to, I gotta always be fixing things. I gotta always be solving problems. And thus we create more fucking problems for ourselves. Excuse me. So you insert this energetic space, and the universe is like a vacuum. It doesn't like space. So what does it do when there's more space in your energy? It inserts. And the universe is always wanting to insert what we're a match to. And now you have more space because you've let go and you're not reacting to your circumstances. So now the universe is going to insert more money, a new client, a new idea, a new promotion, a new friend, or an up-leveled version of a current relationship, or I don't fucking know, a vacation. Anything is possible, right? So it's this response commitment versus reaction. And the cool part about this is, yes, Stormy, the cool part about this is it takes a lot of work off your plate. People want to like change the outer reality so much. They're like fighting and efforting and manipulating and trying to get and trying to control and blah, blah, blah. And that's fucking exhausting. It's like, no wonder we're burnt out, tired, emotionally drained. Even if you aren't like physically, like your calendar is full, you're gonna emotionally feel burnt out. Right? And people will do anything to try to manipulate the outer reality instead of just going within. When you go within, you take all of these things off your to-do list that you actually don't really fucking have to do. So suddenly you have all this free time and this free energy. You have more energy, more time, because you're not filling it with all this random to-dos. and you feel better, you raise your vibration, and that leads to your quantum leap, because now your extra time and space and energy gets to be filled with what? Pouring into yourself. I take my dog on like a bajillion walks a day. I go ground in the grass. I do my, inner work. I pour back more into my mindset. I have more fun. I do, get my nails done, whatever the fuck. You have more energetic capacity to hold more. I needed this message today. Thank you. You're so welcome. I needed to speak it. Like it was just bubbling up inside of me. So as you're responding as your higher self, you start to realize that your energetic capacity increases. And so this is really cool, because you start to realize that you can actually hold space for so much more than you thought you could. So this is where you can navigate the quantum crumble and the letting go. And maybe that comes with a feeling of grief or sadness for a minute. And then the next minute you're like celebrating a new client, and you can like it's the weirdest feeling when it first starts happening, yet you start to go like, holy shit, I'm really powerful. You could realize you can hold space for like the sadness, and you can honor that. And then you can also hold space for like the joy, and it becomes this more like moment to moment thing. And as that happens, your energetic capacity is increasing. Your power is expanding. And that's what the universe is responding to when it's sending you all these blessings. It's responding to who you're being. And this is how you quantum leap. This is why these are the signs of quantum leaping. This is how you quantum leap to increase your income, to increase your impact, to increase how many people you can serve. Right? Because if I can't hold space and capacity for navigating my own human experience, how would I be on here holding space for you guys, while also holding space for my clients navigating their human experiences? And how can I hold space to serve more people? It's about me expanding my energetic container and to hold space for more money, all the things, right? So your energetic capacity increases. And lastly, you feel better regardless of your circumstances. This is number 5. If we're talking quantum leap income, the sign that you're about to have a quantum leap is it's not what your bank account says. It's not the last time you got a sale. It's not your TikTok following. It's not the bill you just got in the mail that was unexpected. It's not what your husband's saying about money. It's how you feel. It's an emotional change. It's an energetic change. You feel abundant as fuck. You feel free. You feel safe. You have sourced those energies and those frequencies from within, regardless of what the bank account says, regardless of how many people are buying and joining, regardless of anything that's happening around you. You are unconditional in that feeling state. And what that means is you've embodied the frequency of the quantum leap, detached from the outer reality. Because like I said before, when people, most 99% of the world, when they don't see, touch the money, smell the money, taste, I don't know that we want to taste it, but I think money has that very distinct smell that we can almost like taste that smell. See it, taste it, touch it. Physical senses, right? If your physical senses haven't seen the evidence yet, 99% of people use that as the reason to plug back into their old identity, their old self-concept, the broke, or the just getting by, or the this is enough, instead of I really want this quantum leap. The quantum leap requires you to plug to it doesn't mean you don't ever come out of it. Working on cultivating the feeling of abundance. Yes, girl. And it doesn't mean you don't ever come out of it. It means if you do, you plug it back in. And if you do, you don't beat yourself up. You just plug it right back in. And if you do, you don't shame yourself and tell yourself you did it wrong, because all that does is identify with it. You just plug it back in. Plug it back into the feeling of abundance. That to me tells me so much more about what's about to manifest for you in the 3D than the last time you got a sale or the bank account balance or anything. Because 99% of the world wants to take a bank account balance or a sales number or whatever, which is a snapshot at one moment in time. Your bank account balance is a snapshot at a moment in time. That's a reflection of your frequency. That's it. And majority of the world will take that snapshot and they will identify with it, thus perpetuate it. And then what happens, that what I was talking about before, the reaction comes in. Oh, now I've got to work harder. Now I've got to do this. Now I've got to try to tell prove to my boss that I need a raise, so I better stay late every single day. And it's coming from, not to say that those moves are unaligned, staying late at work could be an aligned move, yet it's coming from the wrong energy. It's coming from I got to justify and prove my worth, right? So resist the temptation. And when you're having a quantum leap, when you're about to have a quantum leap, I know you're resisting this temptation to take a snapshot of a moment in time on your bank account balance or your P&L or whatever, and you're not identifying with it. You're not attaching to it. You're not fazed by it. You're completely neutral. Or you're thinking positively. Honestly, neutral is really such a vibe, because from there you're open to limitless possibilities. You're really connected to the I am, where anything can happen. So those are our 5 signs. And all of this together, to tie this all into this pretty little bow. If you guys have questions as well, drop them in the chat before I log off, because I want to tie this into a pretty little bow for you. This is all about who you are being. Release the idea. It's just an idea that we've been programmed by the Matrix to believe. That what you receive is dependent upon what you do and how much you do, when it has nothing to do with that. That's a program that was instilled in us. You better be productive 24/7. You better work harder. All these things that keep us stuck in the Matrix, that keep us a slave to money, a slave to jobs, a slave to our business that we created for freedom. And suddenly we wake up and we feel like we're in a prison. I've been there. It's a subconscious program that was designed by people in power to keep us working. And it's not working out for us very much. So we've got to release the idea that our ability to receive abundance is dictated by how much we do and what we do, because it's not. If that were true, millionaires wouldn't exist, because there are people that work so many hours. I worked so many hours as a CPA. I worked 80 hours a week during tax season, some weeks, 70 hours. And there were people that were working less hours per week that were making more than me. Why is that? Because they didn't have a belief system that they had to work as hard as I did. It's who we're being. Exactly, Cheryl. All of this, everything that I just described, that's adding up to your quantum leap, are energetics and identities that create, actually not even create, that's not even the right word, because creation is already finished. The income, the impact, it's already done. You're just attuning to it. You're just allowing it to come to you and through you based on who you're being, based on how you're showing up, based on your frequency. So that what is a better word we can use than work? You can see I'm being really conscious about my words lately. The frequency work is way more pivotal than the work on the strategy. Yeah, do that. Post the TikToks, go live, do the things in the business. Yet when you're done with that shit, or before you do that stuff, do the frequency work. Do the identity work. Do the who I'm being work. Because all of that is going to increase the potency of every single move that you're making, and it expands your awareness to put you in this space where now you have access to higher level ideas, higher level ways of thinking, solutions, problems just start solving themselves. It's crazy. It's so fun. Different types of content. You get on here and then you start channeling and you just start saying shit in your own authentic way and you just let source talk through you because you've done the energetic work and the frequency work and the identity work. All of that takes your ability to receive income and money and clients and impact people, and it like unlinks it from action. You're going to take action. You're someone who already takes action, probably, if you're listening to this. Yet we just don't want our ability to receive to be bound and tied to action. Because we want to be taking the actions that are like exciting us, lighting us up. And when we have this programming that's keeping us from doing that, it's in the way. So everything that I just mentioned, all the signs of the quantum leaps, they are all increasing, developing, refining who you be, your identity, your connection to self and source. You guys have questions or comments? That was fun little like training. Just flowed through me. And honestly, if we want to shrink this time where we're recognizing we're on the precipice of a quantum leap to where the quantum leap actually manifests in the 3D, when these things come up, like when the quantum crumble and you're like, oh, I'm being called to let go of this person or this thing or this way of being, or you're being met with a power and initiation portal, whatever it is, the challenge is celebrate the fuck out of it. Because the lighter that you make it feel, maybe you can make a joke about it, maybe you can celebrate yourself for it, turn on some music, have a dance party, whatever it is, like the quicker you will move through it without identifying to the challenges or to the things you're navigating in a way that keeps them active in your vibration, so that this quantum leap, like unfolding period, can actually get condensed, collapse time. And that's what my work does. That's what my work, my coaching, my spaces. I have a 3-month membership going on right now. There's so many ways to play. So if you desire support with all of this, like get in my DMs and let's see if we're a good fit to work together. Hope. What does it mean when you feel tired after super high vibe days? Well, what are you making it mean? I would love for you to get to a space of like no meaning. Like, I was actually talking to my client about this today too, because I woke up last night at 3 a.m. and I was putting on a meditation to fall back to sleep, but then I had some of these like kind of racing thoughts about the power portal that I was navigating yesterday. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking get up. I'm going to do the frequency work and the identity work, and I'm just going to do it right now because I obviously can't sleep anyways. So I woke up at 3 this morning. My client, weirdly enough, said she woke up at 4 this morning. She's like, I'm tired. I don't do well on days that I'm tired. And I go, it's just a story. It's just a story. So we can still access our power when we're tired. It doesn't mean that we have to, every time we're tired, push through. Sometimes the aligned move when you're tired is to fucking rest, to take the nap, right? Sometimes that scares people because it brings up that programming of I gotta keep doing. What if I won't be able to receive when I'm napping? And the thing is we have to embody, we get to embody the wealth frequency, not only when we're in the doing, also when we're in the resting state. Because if we don't embody it in the resting state, how is it going to be fully integrated as an experience that wealth is detached from how much we're doing? If it's just a tired day where like, you know, you can rest later, or once you get sleep, you'll be fine. Like me today, I tell myself this, I'm like, I can still access my power when I'm tired. There's no meaning assigned to tired. And when I say that, then I can come on here and still channel. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore my rest. If I want to take a nap after this, I'll take a fucking nap. It doesn't mean that I'm going to burn myself out. It just means like it's a moment by moment thing. Sometimes the power move is to rest. Sometimes the power move is to still do the thing that you committed to do and to choose that you're powerful enough to do it even when you're tired. Oh, Hope, I think fatigue comes when I retell old stories. Abso-fucking-lutely, because it's draining. Like I was saying, the incessant thoughts. It's like having, you know, back in the day when the internet was like really slow and you would have like all the browser tabs open. That's like your old stories, because they're pulling you out of the present moment. They're just draining your life force energy. It's like you've got all these tabs open. That's where the subconscious work really helps and really increases your physical energy. Like I'm telling you, that's the reason I have so much energy now. And literally, like I went through a season in July. I was talking about this the other night on the live. In July, I was navigating so much fear, so much anxiety. I had this like fear of becoming unalive. I don't know if you guys have ever had that fear. It's like I've actually had it for most of my life, kind of under the surface, and just kind of like tried to avoid it instead of working through it and rewiring it. And it came up so strong that like I was constantly just feeding it, like Googling, like, is this little twinge in my body? Does it mean something's wrong? And this, that, and I was like feeding this story. And finally got to the point where I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I was so stressed and anxious. I was like head to toe, broken out in hives, and they wouldn't go away for weeks. And like, it was insane. Yet I took it as the power portal. It was literally like life gave me the initiation that I needed to take my power back, because I was just lazy with my thoughts, lazy with my stories. And I took the power back and I was like, I can heal myself. I can fucking do this. I'm capable, like whatever, worked through the subconscious shit. And now I feel freer and more at peace than ever. And it's literally only, it took like less than 2 months. Like this doesn't have to take a lot of time when we get to the subconscious shit. And that's why I do the work that I do. Hi, Jenny. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for following. Welcome to the family. What do you do when feeling anxious? I have a few different things that I do if I feel anxious. The biggest thing that you're going to want to do is get your ass into the present moment. However, the anxiety lately, like especially since July, because of the modalities and the work that I've done on myself, my tools that I use on my clients, it's very minimal now. It's very minimal. So it's more so just like being in the present moment. Yet I know what that feeling is like. If like you are someone who is experiencing the feeling of anxiety very frequently, like the subconscious work is really going to be helpful for that. And I also stopped claiming it, because in July and the months prior, I was saying things like, I have anxiety, my anxiety. Just the labels of claiming it was that identification. And that identification was keeping me attached to it, right? So we will literally take, because what is anxiety? It's a feeling, it's an emotion, right? And it's an emotion about the future and something in the future happening that we don't desire to happen, right? Which means that you've got beliefs that beliefs and expectations about an undesirable event happening at some time in the future, right? Like mine was the health stuff, the hypochondria. And I kept saying like my hypochondria, my anxiety. The doctor told me, oh, you have OCD, my OCD. And then I was just like, this isn't mine. Like whose? Me, the human me? That's a character. That's not who I really am. Who I really am is higher self, is source, is a drop in the ocean that is God. That me doesn't know anxiety. She doesn't feel anxiety. So why do I keep claiming this as mine when it's not even mine? And just that in and of itself alone, helping the detachment. I love you guys so much. This is so fun. And if you are interested in coaching, whenever you're interested in coaching, check out my link. Send me a DM to see if we're a good fit to work together. I work with entrepreneurs who want to increase their income, their impact, also leaders in corporate, people who are ready to take their work to the next level to change the world, because I just have such a passion for this work, for, you know, changing lives. And literally, like, if you ever think that this, like, you don't matter this much, I have to tell you that you do. Like, you have the ability to change people's lives with your story, with your transformation, with just who you're being, with your frequency, with how you show up when you're your authentic self. Like, that creates a ripple effect of change on this planet, and nothing lights me up more than supporting beautiful souls like each and every single one of you to do that, because I love to think about what changes in your life when I support you, like how your relationships improve, how you stop fighting with your partner, and how you blow up your income, what you can purchase when you blow up your income, like what you can invest in, how you can bless people. You know, when you heal your lack consciousness and you move into wealth consciousness, not just, yes, physical wealth, how you having that can change the world and change, you know, the economy and help people and all the things, but also the consciousness. Like, I love thinking about how my clients, as they heal their lack programming, we lose that sense of like fear and anxiety, and then that doesn't get rippled out into the world. Instead, ease and abundance and more joy and more relaxation gets rippled out into the world, and like that changes fucking lives. That's that like relaxed generosity instead of fear and greed and scarcity and blah blah blah. So we get to the root cause in my work, and nothing lights me up more than to support you on this journey, because it always leads to amazing blessings. So needed to hear all of this. I'm so happy it helped you, Stormy. Seriously, makes my heart so happy. So take it with you into the rest of your day. You matter. Go do the things. Go relax. Go feel all the feels. Have your quantum leap and know that you are right on target. Declare it. Decide it. It's all happening for you, and it will. It motherfucking will.